Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Molinda Jae, and I'm here to talk about how to pass down a legacy. Okay, 9 ways to pass down a legacy. So, without further ado, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe already because there will be some good informative content that I will be pushing out on this channel, as well as some good commentary and give my little 2 cents on the life gems that I will sprinkle to y'all in the time being. And also my log journey, which I've been doing a horrible job of documenting. But girl, the work, the job has been keeping me busy. So let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen right quick. So give me a moment while I do that. All right, and I'm just going to raise the screen. And of course, y'all can see me in this good old right-hand corner right here. Okay, so this is coming from sciencecare.com, and this is fair use. So this is educational purposes and due to some research, okay? And no, this is not free promotion. However, I am using this source to educate all my viewers on 9 ways to leave a legacy behind, because it is important now more than ever. So that way the generations that come behind us, they can gain some sense of where they came from, and of course some sorts of identity as well. All right, so 9 ways to leave behind a legacy. So it says right here in this paragraph, it says, have you ever thought about how much your children and grandchildren actually know about your life? It may be surprising to learn that many of us have very little knowledge about the lives our grandparents, and we know even less about our great grandparents. According to a survey conducted by Ancestry.com, 1 in 3 adults couldn't name any of their great grandparents. Why is this important? Because knowing more about who and where we came from can help us learn more about ourselves. Passing on stories and traditions to your children and grandchildren not only helps to preserve your legacy, it helps teach some valuable lessons as well. And don't worry if you think you've lived less than an exciting life. What may not seem a big deal to you might have a lot of meaning to others. We all have interesting stories to tell, so tell them, okay? And sidebar with me, with my family, I'm searching, okay? I am swimming, I am deep diving, I am scuba diving for all the information that I need to gather so I can be able to follow these steps right here, to that way my son and the rest of my future kids, my future grandkids and their grandkids can be able to know what it is and how they should learn from past mistakes. Okay, so here are the few ways that you can start preserving your legacy. One is to write down family traditions. This is, even if you no longer do them, traditions give us a sense of belonging. Think about some of the family traditions you had as a child, or even those you heard about from long lost relatives, okay? Number 2 is to write down family stories. Maybe your grandfather ran away from home at 12 years old to join the circus, or your great uncle Bob was a minor league baseball player, or Aunt Ellen served in the Army Nurse Corps in World War II. Maybe your parents got engaged on the Empire State Building, or maybe they got engaged on a farm, and it doesn't matter. What's important is being able to pass on the story. Now, with this segment right here, I got a whole lot of stories with that one. When it comes to me searching what has transpired within my grandparents and their relationship, and my great grandparents and their relationships. And I can recall my grandma had met my grandfather in the flower yard where they were picking the flowers to, you know, make flower bouquets and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a that's a whole nother video in itself. But yeah, go ahead and write down those family stories. All right. What is this, number 3? Yes, number 3, write down stories about you. Don't forget about yourself, because you are a part of the family tree. Nobody knows you than you. Okay, so you can also record a video and leave that as an archive preserved as well. So however you want to do with writing stories about yourself, that's up to you. You can write everything, you can vlog everything, you can record without without the facial recognition and stuff like that. It's up to you. Okay. Next, we have pass along the skills. Okay, I think this is the most valuable one ever, besides the family recipes and the photos and the DNA test, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, passing along the skill. Now this is consistent of even the skills you think you're not important, that you think are not important, might offer a fun learning and bonding experience for your grandchildren. You might be surprised on how much your grandchildren appreciate the gesture and opportunity to spend extra time with you. So I can recall an incident of me, you know, helping my grandma bake a cake. You know what I'm saying? So, and besides me getting easy bake ovens, because that was one of my number one things, toys that I had as a young kid, is easy bake ovens. And compared to my mom, she cooks down. Okay, she cooks down. However, she's not patient enough to bake. She has to be in that mood to bake. So that's where I come in. Okay, is bake the goodies. Okay, all right. So pass along the skill. I think that is very important, because that you can be able to pass down to your children. They can pass it down to their children, and so forth and so on. All right. So please be sure, if you know your grandparents or your parents have a good skill that can still be passed down, you know, if you eager about it, just go ahead. Even if you're not eager about it, at least you still know what skill that they pass down to you, and you can be able to utilize that on a rainy day. All right. Next, write down family recipes. This is a big one, because they can get stingy with the family recipes. Yes, I'm not even gonna lie. Even my mom gets stingy with the recipes, but rightfully so, to a certain degree. But make sure you gather up, have fun to gather up all the family recipes, the good ones especially, and make a couple of copies to put them in a binder or a book for your children and grandchildren. Okay, I can recall with this one, my next door neighbor that we stayed in Mississippi. She's an elderly lady, and she would keep all her recipes in index cards in an index card container. And I was like, ooh, I want to get a hold of that container of recipes. Okay, because those are golden. All right. So be sure y'all get those family recipes so y'all can be able to pass them down and down and down, and maybe just tweak them up a little bit. Put your own little spin to it. All right, next is family photos, the who's who's. Make sure you gather as many as possible. Most of us have collections of family photos. In fact, you may have several old photos that your parents and your grandparents may have collected. The problem is most of us have old family photos that we don't always know who's in the picture. So that's why that is important, that you gather somebody, you recruit somebody that knows at least majority of that person's life. That way they can be able to put the pieces together to your family tree. Okay, so please make note, put it on the back of the photos, whether it's recent or not, and That way, whenever you put in your scrapbook, your presentation, or whatever, a website as well, you and people can be able to tell who's who, and then read upon the stories upon each person. Okay. Next is take a DNA test. Okay, with the DNA test, they're relatively inexpensive and very easy to do. They can also help identify the regions of the world where you and your family came from. And you might be surprised to find out the roots that you came from that you really didn't know about. So that is definitely in relation to 23andMe. Ancestry.com is more like, you know, a couple of people to where you can put you can be able to connect the dots, and then it'll extend as you add in a person, it'll extend a branch and piggyback on other people that we're probably trying to find and key in and put pieces together on searching for other family members around the world or region, however you want to, however far you want to go on that aspect. But however, you know, a lot of people are very reluctant to take DNA tests because they are afraid to know about the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. However, in this case, it is very important to take DNA tests because of the fact of the matter, God forbid, knock on wood, that person gets sick and that person does not have, or any other family member doesn't have that blood type, then things could get real sketchy over there. So it's important to take a DNA test. All right, take that DNA test so you'll know who's who and who are you related to, so you can have a peace of mind. All right. And lastly, start a family tree. This is, most of us in the family know someone in the family who maintains the family tree. I know with most Black households, they use the Bible to be able to write. The parents usually will write the kid's name, the parents' name, the kid's name, and the grandparents' name, and that'll be like a record of who's who. And yeah. Usually they will put all the names in the Bible. So be sure if you see any Bibles that are in like I don't want to say ancient, antique. Try to look in it and see if you see any names that the person has put in there, as far as like who was in the family at that time. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So you can begin this by listing information on everyone you know about and how they are all connected. And once you've done that, there are plenty of online resources available to get you more information. Okay. So, if someone is not already doing it, you can go ahead and start the family tree. That way, whenever those projects come along and they want to get curious on who is in your family tree and knowing where you came from and stuff like that, you already have it in handy, or you just that type of person that just want to keep the legacy going, and for the next generation that comes, they'll know who's who and who did what, and the lessons that the person learned at that time before their passing. Okay, so yeah, that concludes this segment, this video, this topic on 9 ways, even though it gave us 8. So I'm just going to say ways to leave a legacy behind, because of the fact of the matter, I believe it gave 8 instead of 9. So feel free to comment down below on your thoughts and your opinions, and have you already started the family tree, and how is your legacy being passed on? Or just give me a little tidbit story on how others are passing their legacy on, because it interests me. I want to know who I'm related to, you know what I'm saying? And I want to know what they did. All right. So I thank you all for tuning in to this video. Please sure to like the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share this video so people will get to going on starting the process of leaving a legacy behind. And also, all my social media will be in the comment section or the description box below. And I will leave my email in the description box as well, so you all can send me some topics that you want me to talk about, okay, and sprinkle my little 2 cents in there of wisdom. And also hit that notification bell so you know the next time I upload a video. Make sure you press all so you can know, okay, the next time I upload a video. Without further ado, I'll leave you all to it. Always remember to love thyself, know thyself, soothe thyself, so you can heal thyself. And I'll see you around.